Hey, what's going on? I'm getting ready to talk to you for a moment about communication in the communication series, but today I want to talk about something that I hear a lot in my job. It is employers concerned that every time they try to pitch a new idea or come up with a new process, a new way of doing things, the leaders basically just blow them off. Don't accept what they're trying to offer, or don't listen to them. Or sometimes they, come up with a new plan or whatever it is that's new, and when they present it, it just kind of falls on deaf ears. Like it'll be received, but then nothing will be done. So I just want to offer a little bit of advice. If you're that one who has new creative ways of thinking, new ideas, you want to bring them to the table, but you really don't expect your leadership to really hear you out. One thing I always say I guess it's a question that I always ask is, how did you present that idea? I think it's really important that as the person who's trying to change a process, you have to make it clear why that change is needed. So first off, if you have a new idea, a new way of doing things, and it's different than the norm, then you should be able to articulate what's broken and how this idea will fix it. And even if it's not something that's broken, maybe just be able to show how this new idea will improve things. You don't always have to wait till something's broke to fix it. You can take something that's working out good and make it work better. And that's a good thing. But you have to be able to articulate that up front and say, this is the reason why. And when you do so, try to have the real numbers, the real stats, because if you're talking to a leader, they may not have time to go into all the research of that information when you bring them an idea. But if you bring them all of the information with it, they can make that decision a lot quicker. Just think of it like this. The leader needs to be in a position where they make a decision, yes or no, approved or not approved. But all the groundwork that goes in between it, all the research, all the studies, that should be done by you. Not to say that leaders don't need to, research, but don't take it wrong. But just know that you're talking about a person's time. So another idea will be this: along with the statistics on how you're going to improve the process, you need to make sure that this is a process that can actually be implemented. So if you have an idea, but and it's changing the way a process works, you should be able to let the boss know that you've already checked the requirements, the regulations, the instructions, the rules, the laws, whatever it is that you are governed by, and confirm that everything that you're presenting is a legal way of doing things. Like, the boss won't get in trouble for saying, yes, let's do it. You got to keep other people out of trouble sometimes. If you're not the boss, you got to keep the boss out of trouble, And again, I don't want you to take me wrong on that, but it's kind of the truth, if you're going to present a lot of ideas where they say yes, and then they find out that it was just not legal, or something like that, then that's the risk that they're putting on the line. That's not a risk that you're taking. It's a risk that the leader is taking for saying yes. So just be sure the research is done beforehand. And then I would say lastly, put your whole idea on paper or on an email or in writing some kind of way, and give it a brief summary in the beginning or overview in the beginning. Kind of just summarize what the idea is, the why behind it, and the benefits of it right up front. That we use a term in the military called BLUF, bottom line up front. It's always good to make your point very clear right at the beginning. So here's an idea that I have on how we should do this process. Here's why. Here's the benefits of it, and I've done all the research to ensure that this process will be, good to go, run by the rules, and then put all the details after that. All the steps. All the really in the weeds details afterwards. That way they can get into that on their own time, and they can call you back if they need to and have a a more detailed discussion about it. Give them the opportunity to check out what you're saying. But just be sure that, I guess the main thing is when you're presenting your idea, make sure that your idea is not coming across like, I have a complaint and we should be doing things differently. If you just leave it at that, yes, you're going to be kind of blown off and not really heard, because not everybody has time to hear, I have a complaint and this isn't the good way to do things. It's better to hear the whole plan on how it could be improved. So I'll leave it at that. I hope that helps you out. Talk to you later.